You know what it is now? A lot of these dudes doing podcasts about relationships, these are incels. These are dudes who really couldn't get women, so they use their podcast to spew aggression and hate towards women. And because they get a lot of views, they think they have power.
Right.
So now I'm an authority, and this is what I feel about these black women, and this is what I feel about this. So a lot of it is this nerdy aggression. A lot of these dudes don't have no game. And the reason why we have these incel, wear my hug type of dudes out here who are being elevated is because of the internet, and the internet teaches you to not have game.
Going into more of the relationship work that you've done,
yes,
there's an importance of that, and there's a constant battle of black men, black women that has happened. For someone that had a podcast called Mac Lessons, which I interpreted as a way for a man to be able to operate with some type of self-esteem, being able to have your principles intact, but also knowing how to navigate and deal with women in a healthy way, because I feel that you pushed honesty. You could be honest with a woman and she could be able to receive it, is how I was able to process it. Being someone in that position, what are things that you would tell a young black man now on how to properly attract a black woman? Maybe like your top 3 things that you think a young man should know.
Well, in order to attract a black woman, or just women in general, but particularly a black woman, number one, you have to trust yourself. Trusting yourself is the essence of confidence.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. A lot of people and a lot of men don't trust themselves. Number 2, you got to have integrity, meaning there's certain things you will and will not do. And the third thing is you have to value manhood, value yourself as a man.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a man? Being a man doesn't mean being aggressive.
Right.
We've been taught that manhood is about jumping bad at folks, screaming at folks. That's not manhood. That's more emotional and feminine than anything. Manhood is about calmly being logical and solving problems, solving issues, and being in a leadership position when you're in a relationship.
Right.
Women can respect that.
Right.
That's how you get respect from women.
Yeah.
Right now, we have so many dudes who have not been raised by men, and they've not been around real men who's practicing manhood. They're around males, but they're not around men to see a man get up, own businesses, work for himself, take care of the family. A lot of brothers don't see that now.
Right.
So they think everything is about emotion, and whatever manhood is, it's a caricature of what manhood is. It's what you see on television.
Right.
It's what you see in music videos. You're walking around with a wife beater, a bunch of tattoos, a bandana on, and you're throwing money.
Right.
It's not manhood.
Right. There's a...
Excellent. I follow Tariq Nasheed. I'm a big supporter of his. He has great talking points. He's a great debater and things like that. And also, if you guys didn't know, he's basically considered the godfather, or the father, because I don't want to say the godfather, but he is the originator of, I wouldn't even say pickup artistry, but he started the red pill, stuff with the Mac lessons and things like that, and a series of books. But he's right, like a lot of guys, masculinity is not placed in the blame game, and it's about confidence and being able to know when to you should be assertive at all times, but it's knowing when to switch it on and off. There's a time for certain things, but you have to be tempered as a man. You have to be cool, calm, and collected. You can't be like this. Everybody thinks that that's masculine. A lot of dudes who don't know, they think that yelling and, screaming at a woman and holding her accountable and all this stuff like that is, and that's all I see in the comments. And I understand the content that I put out, it brings a certain crowd. And the most popular videos I do is not my intent for it to be negative, but when you read the comments, it's nothing but negative things that men are saying about women, which I don't think is cool. But Tariq basically points this out in his books. I mean, you have to be a gentleman, you have to be cool, you have to be suave. Not everybody's born with this, and these are things that we have to learn. And a lot of us, like myself, I didn't have a father in the household growing up, so I had to learn. There was no YouTube around. I had to learn this stuff, dead reckoning. You know, and I got married early, so a lot of things I definitely didn't know. I had to learn in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? And seeing things, being in the military, you get to see different examples of men in leadership positions, but you don't know what goes on behind closed doors in terms of rearing a family and you know, raising them up. But most definitely, man.
Interesting dynamic that's happening, I think, with black men. I was reading, it's a tweet, I'm gonna paraphrase it, but someone said that the "Where's My Hug" niggas turned into the podcast niggas.
Yes.
What is happening, man?
You know what's funny? Yeah, the "Where My Hug" niggas. Podcast game. That's whoever said that hit it right on the money, brother. You know what it is now. A lot of these dudes doing podcasts about relationships. These are incels. These are dudes who really couldn't get women, so they use their podcast to spew aggression and hate towards women. And because they get a lot of views, and most of their views are from white people. White people love tuning in to see some black person bash another black person. So because they have views, they think they have power.
Right.
So now I'm an authority, and this is what I feel about these black women, and this is what I feel about this. So a lot of it is this nerdy aggression. A lot of these dudes don't have no game. And the reason why we have these incel, "Where My Hug" type of dudes out here who are being elevated is because of the internet, and the internet teaches you to not have game. Because part of game is 90% of nonverbal communication. That's the most effective communication, nonverbal. What you actually say is a very minimal part of how you get down. It's really about how you carry yourself and how you act and your vibe and your energy. Before the internet, we had to go out to the mall, to the streets, to the club, and interact with women. Women had to interact with men, so women had to carry themselves a certain way. Men had to carry themselves a certain way. You had to know how to dress. You had to be clean. You had to be groomed. Your teeth had to be brushed. You had to coordinate your clothes correctly. Your body language had to be correct. You couldn't slouch. Everything about you, your nonverbal, had to be intact even before you approached.
Off top, and it's like, I'm not saying this. The art of this is dying, but fellas, this is the thing that I say as well. I'm not a pickup artist. I'm not a coach in terms of that, but it's just certain things. Your presence, it speaks for itself a lot of times. And as they always say, a lot of you guys fuck things up once you start talking because you get overexcited, you get anxious, you say something stupid or silly. What's considered stupid or silly because it's not really You're trying to remember lines and things like that instead of just being yourself, being presentable. You know what I'm saying? Every time you step out that house, you should be presentable or be in a way where you're comfortable with yourself. And what I mean by that is you're presentable or the type of person you're looking to attract. You want to be a reflection of that person, right? So you're going to dress a certain way. This goes for the ladies too, because ladies, as he pointed out as well, women don't have to leave their house. You know, they don't have to work on social skills and things like that. A lot of you guys don't have to work on social skills, but we prop these guys up. No offense, it is very popular to do those certain things. Prop these people up, and because of the following that you amass, you become a de facto subject matter expert in certain things when you really don't have any experience. And you can kind of tell these guys, by me personally watching, you can tell who doesn't have game. A few of these guys have been outed in terms of they don't have any game. And it's very corny. I mean, but if you're an incel and you don't know any better, it sounds cool. Rather than fixing the problem, which is yourself. You point at everyone else. You're the problem. I'm not the problem. But let's see. We need to see some real time in action things going on and people getting turned down. And how people conduct themselves, men and women, when you're out, instead of just saying this, and this about people. But let's get back to it.
The woman. So when you approached her, 90% of the job was already done if she was interested.
Thanks.
So when you started talking, that was the icing on the cake.
Yep.
Now, we don't have to do that. You got the internet, and you can tweet your emotions. You can text your emotions, laughing out loud.
Very
Mad as
passive.
hell. there's no nonverbal. Nobody really knows what you're feeling.
Yeah.
So now a lot of relationships, even with women, it's become transactional now.
Right.
So these dudes, all they know is throwing up money, tricking it off.
Right.
The women, you meet them now, they're like, hey, go to my OnlyFans page if you want to get to know me.
Man, shout out to Tariq, man. He hit it on the head. This is the main thing that, and he talks about this in his books as well. Guys like Alan Roger Curry, Coach Corey Wayne talks about working on your social skills. And I'm going to put out a video here shortly. I'm about to record it probably after this on your social skills. What you can do, especially somebody like myself who had to work on these things. I mean, working on your social skills. Somebody like myself, it was something I had to work on. A lot of people, it just doesn't come natural. That's why I encourage, if you had in your younger days to work in some sort of customer service field, just as a part-time thing, kind of like an experiment, just so you get over that fright, that fear maybe, or you just learn to interact with people where it comes second nature, which is something I wish I would have done early on instead of going into, even though I love my vets, I love the military, but I wasn't in a position where I was able to work on my social skills. I didn't care about it because I was to be stoic and follow orders and execute them as well, you know, and execute them, you know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. Excellent video. I'm glad Tariq says this. He's considered the godfather of Red Pill, and everything else in terms of that for the minority field. Not even the minority, for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So y'all check him out, man. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. It helps to support the channel. Like I said, ladies, fellas, if you're looking for some advice, click that link. I got you. And with that being said, much blessings and abundance. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. This is Wisdom. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen. And that's where I will see you at. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I haven't put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth them.